Hello, guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And in today's video, we have the season finale, Season 1, Episode 8 of The Mandalorian to talk about. This is the season finale, guys. And oh my god, with this, I actually have a lot I want to talk about. Not a lot of time, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. First off, the stormtroopers at the beginning. They're scout troopers. They're the ones with the bikes. Oh my god, how hilarious! You kind of see this in Star Wars Rebels just a little bit. I like it when they actually give some screen time to the stormtroopers. Give them some type of character, something for you to enjoy and laugh about, and realize that these are actual people. They're not robots, even though, yes, the whole idea is that by being underneath the helmet, you are nothing but a symbol of the Empire. You are not a man, you are basically a drone. You are basically a droid. You are basically a droid. Underneath the helmet, you are a droid. Now, of course, when it came to the clone troopers, we saw in the Clone Wars that they were actual people, even though they were, of course, underneath the helmet. They were actual people. The clones were actual people. But the Empire's not like that. The Empire, most of the time, wants to show their strength. Every single Imperial officer is a symbol of the Empire. They are not a person. They are just a symbol of the Empire. So I do like it when they actually show some character in these people, because it shows that they are not just deadly endless drones, And my god, oh my god, talking about stormtroopers, I have to talk about that flame trooper we saw at the end of the episode. Oh my god, he walks in, the red on his helmet. I first thought, is that supposed to be a Sith trooper? But then I see the flamethrower. Wow. That's the first time we saw a flame trooper in not only canon, but of course we actually see him in live action. Now, the flame trooper, there was hints to the flame trooper in episode 4, and there was the idea that the flame trooper existed in the TV shows, but I can't remember. I remember the clones actually using flamethrowers at sometimes, but I don't remember any stormtroopers using flamethrowers, at least not in Rebels. Of course, we seen flame troopers in episode 7, but I mean, come on, those are First Order stormtroopers. They're not Imperial. So this is actually really cool that we get to see an Imperial flame trooper, and I just liked the design of the suits with the red marks on it. It looked so awesome. I loved it. Now, I can spend all day talking about stormtroopers, but let's actually start getting into the episode, shall we? So these stormtroopers, they have the assets, they have Baby Yoda, and unfortunately it has been confirmed that our uggnut friend has unfortunately passed away. And of course we saw just a little bit of a burial at the end for him. I really liked that. It was a nice touch, and it confirmed our unfortunate suspicions. I was hoping that maybe the droid would come and help his master. Maybe his master wouldn't be dead, but unfortunately that's not the case. And what's really interesting is that the droid. So the droid comes and saves Baby Yoda, takes out the stormtroopers. And I mean, you know that he's a bounty hunter droid. These droids are designed for damage. We saw that in the first episode, and it's cool to see it again. But this time, remember, he's a nanny droid, so he's protecting the baby. And it's really cool to see him protect the baby and get to really create basically a personality for this droid. And it's just different, and it's all about how it all goes back to episode 7, when the uggnut was talking about how droids are reflections of people who program them, and because, of course, he programmed the droid to protect, that's what this droid is going to do. Even though, yes, it's programming, should be kill, destroy, it's programmed for safety right now, and that's what it's going to do. But still, when there's like a whole bunch of stormtroopers, a whole bunch of clone troopers, and this thing rides up to them, you know that this thing's gonna take him out. And he does. He takes out the terrifying Death Troopers. And something that I liked was that we saw those in Rogue One. We saw them in the Rebels TV show, but they weren't really interesting. They weren't really deadly and dangerous. We didn't get to see that awesome training that they're supposed to go through. We didn't get the feeling, other than their black suits, that these guys mean business. We got to see that not only in episode 7, but we get to see that in episode 8 too. Granted, our buddy droid does help and save the day, but we do get to see a lot of those Death Troopers. That's really awesome. So the episode basically goes like this. He shows up with a baby, the team's back together, we gotta find a way out before the stormtroopers kill us all. Grand Moff Gideon, I don't think he's a Grand Moff, I think it's just Moff Gideon, but I like calling him Grand Moff. Moff Gideon, he has a big gun put together, basically, a big blaster, and tells him, hey, and he calls him out by name too, including the Mandalorian. That was really, really interesting that we actually learned the Mandalorian's name. And it's because of that that the Mandalorian knows who this is. And we get confirmation of his backstory. So, as a little kid, he was, during the Clone Wars, he was not a Mandalorian. He was a child who, his parents put him into a safety box. His parents got unfortunately killed, but a Mandalorian came and saved him from the battle droid that was about to kill him and took him in. He became a Mandalorian ever since. He was a foundling. Well, it turns out that the guy who was in charge back then, especially during the Great Purge, where all the Mandalorians were wiped out, or at least almost wiped out, was none other than Grand Moff Gideon himself. That was pretty cool. It shows how he actually has a connection to the enemy this time, which is just interesting for, of course, season 2. Because at the very end of the episode, the Grand Moff Gideon actually survives. And what does he have? He has the Dark Saber. The Dark Saber was a lightsaber created by a Mandalorian Jedi. We learned that in Star Wars Rebels. The first time we see it is in the hands of Vizsla, Death Watch, in the Clone Wars. And of course, Maul himself even uses the lightsaber at a time. The Dark Saber is such a cool weapon. And why does the Moff Gideon have it? I have no idea. That's a question that I have. I'm interested in learning more, but I got nothing at this point. But as for the rest of the episode, what's happened is the Mandalorian actually gets hurt pretty badly thanks to the Flame Trooper, thanks to all the shots flying, and he has to take off the helmet to protect his head, but he doesn't want to because, of course, he wants to keep the code. He tells them to leave. They go into the sewers. The droid doesn't. The droid isn't alive, so it doesn't go against the code. The droid takes off his helmet, protects, heals his head, and puts the helmet back on, and he's alright. They could have done that, but they didn't have to show his face. Not that I'm mad they showed his face, but I feel like we shouldn't have saw it. I really wanted the Mandalorian to be unseen. We could have had a close up where the helmet was off, just like in I think it was episode 4 or 5. We could have had a close up of where the helmet was off. We could have hear the droid fixing up his wounds, and then gone on from that. But no, we have to show the guy's face. Not a big deal. It's just I kind of wanted the Mandalorian, even though we know the face of the actor. I kind of wanted the Mandalorian in the show, in the universe itself, to be sort of a mystery, and now that's kind of gone. Now, because of that, the Mandalorian actually starts caring for the droid, which is really big because we know that it was droids who took his parents away. So it's with droids who killed his parents. He has a big problem with droids. And this droid has proven time and time again that his programming is to protect and save. And that is what he's going to do. That makes the Mandalorian actually care for him. Now, what's really cool is they get to this lava field and lava boat. There's also this R2 unit that has arms and legs that, moves the boat. I thought that was really cool, really interesting, really different. But what's really, really awesome is there's this moment where there's I want to say 10, 15, a whole battalion of stormtroopers outside of a cave. The lava boat, is heading down the lava field out of the cave, and there's 15 stormtroopers there. If they go out there, they're gonna get killed. What does the droid do? The droid sacrifices himself. Uses that bomb that he had from episode 1. Blows them all to smithereens. And they all walk free. Only for the Moff Gideon to show up in a TIE fighter and start blasting away. But of course, we have, a jetpack on the Mandalorian, thanks to the Forger in the first episode. We get to see her again. That was really cool. And we get to learn more about the Mandalorian history. That was really interesting. He has a jetpack. He uses it. He blows up the TIE fighter. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill Grand Moff Gideon. Grand Moff Gideon, I keep saying Grand Moff, but he's just a Moff. Moff Gideon uses the dark saber to get out of the TIE fighter, and that's the last scene we see. And I'm like, oh my god, how did he get that lightsaber? I got to know more. The Mandalorian, along with the Baby Yoda, goes his separate ways, and that's the end of the episode. We got Baby Yoda, we got the child, safe the Mandalorian. That's really cool. He also got his signet, which is the Baby Yoda, which a lot of people thought that's what was going to happen anyway. That's what happened. And it's really cool. It turns out that because he found this foundling, either he has to somehow bring it to the people who, of its own kind, which are Jedi. They believe are Jedi sorcerers. I like the fact that they call them sorcerers in the show. He has to either find more Jedi like Luke Skywalker to bring this baby to, or when the baby is of age and has no family left, he can become a Mandalorian. How awesome would that be for a Baby Yoda with Force powers? A Baby Yoda Mandalorian. A Yoda Mandalorian with Force power. That would be awesome. Well, that's all I have to say. I loved this show. I can't wait for next season. I want to see more. Thank you guys for watching. And if you have not seen this season, why are you watching this video? But I really enjoyed this season. I can't wait for next season. And at least this show has me hooked to stay on with Disney Star Wars. I haven't seen episode 9 yet. I'm seeing it this Sunday, which means by the time this video comes out, I'll see it and I'll do a video on it as well. Until then, I'm definitely hooked on Disney Star Wars The Mandalorian, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, unless of course this is seen after the whole YouTube problem thing that they're having. I don't know what's going on with that at all. I don't. But thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.